Welcome to the latest of the Overboard Network, a Below Deck podcast. We're back with episode 5 of Below Deck Med titled Breakups and Shakeups. And this time, I think the name does fit the bill. Reagan gets fired, all but Dave and Natasha have a good night out, and Storm has the episode of a lifetime. No new reviews to share this week. However, please, to the listeners, if you like the podcast, please consider leaving a review and we can share it on the pod. Now, let's just jump right in here. Sean, the writing on the wall was here, and I think the hammer finally fell as Reagan gets fired. Considering, at the end, this kind of felt like an afterthought. Considering everything that happened this episode, her getting fired, I almost forgot. What are your thoughts? Is like this storyline kind of dominated the first part of the entire season. Now that the Reagan is terrible at her job storyline, where are we going?
Well, Jen, I think a couple of points. One, if it's going to happen, I'm glad it happened now, because I think Below Deck Med season 1, the whole show is built around this guy Danny being bad at his job, and they fire him towards the end. Then after he's fired, the last few episodes don't feel essential. It's like, oh, it's not the same show anymore. It's like we already reached the climax. This is just like some post-credit stuff. So, but when they do it earlier, it's like, okay, Reagan was electric those first 4 episodes, and now we're going to move on. She didn't define the season. She was a fascinating part of the early part of the season. And Jen, I think, as you mentioned, she felt like an afterthought. Yeah, they don't need her. I thought this was a terrific episode of Below Deck Med, and a lot happened. And yeah, you kind of forgot, like, oh yeah, Reagan got fired tonight.
Yeah, I think she's going to go down as like the storyline of probably remember Sunshine? So lasted like 3-4 episodes. Now he wasn't the bosun, he was just a deckhand. I felt like there was a little bit more rooting for him though, versus honestly, Twitter just loved Reagan, hated her, loved hating Reagan, I should say. So I don't know where they're going to go from here. I feel like all eyes are going to be on Natasha and Dave going forward.
We'll get to that. That could get old.
Yeah,
I feel quick. But one other thing about Reagan getting fired, Sandy recommends she learn under a strong bosun under her next boat. I mean, so was she demoted too? I know, she's not she didn't take a stripe away, but
well, I think she's just saying here's some advice. But yeah, I will say that whole interaction between her and Sandy, it was interesting. She's like, Sandy's like, I want more women on deck, but also Reagan, we're replacing you with a guy, right? Now, obviously, Storm's more deserving, but I just thought that was funny how that came out.
She wants more Malias on deck.
Yeah, right.
There's a specific woman she wants on deck. No.
Yeah. And it also seemed like Sandy was actually nicer to Reagan when letting her go after a week of incompetency than she was to Hannah after years of being a solid chief stew.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst. I don't know. Sandy's criticism, I guess, was constructive. Hey, if you need to learn under someone good on a big boat. And yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like Reagan didn't burn any bridges while she's on there. I don't know. She burned fast. I loved every minute of it, but I don't know that we need her going forward. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Storm's a good personality, right? At the beginning, I was like, all right, this guy's got to talk a little bit more, but he seems great. So I think he's going to be a good bosun. I think he's probably going to end up being the bosun for the season. I know he's temporary right now.
Provisional. Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know how that applies to being a bosun, like a provisional.
Is it provisional?
I don't know.
Temporary? Can we say temporary?
I think temporary works just as well, Sandy, but
yeah. No, that works. So Sean, let's get into a little bit more of this episode. We've got the crew night out, which obviously we were looking forward to. I think the first crew night out, everybody was still kind of figuring each other out. So now they got to really enjoy it. So Sean, the biggest thing I wanted to bring up of everything that happened, did you see the guys' outfits of this episode?
I only noticed Dave, and look, my wife said that jean vests are coming back into style.
Yeah.
I'm unaware though.
I went to Jazz in the Park last night here in Denver. I saw two cut off jean vests. So
See, I'm
that's
in. Yeah,
is more
you're in
than
a
I've.
trendier city. I'm in
Yeah,
Albany, New York. We don't.
I mean, everything's acid washed, everything's baggy. I mean, I feel like I'm watching like the Woodstock '99 documentary again. Um,
Right. And look, here's the thing though, whether or not that's in style, he doesn't pull it off because he's he's so in his head all night that whatever he wears is going to look stupid.
yeah, I mean, you really got to be confident with this look, and dude has all time low confidence. But no, I mean, everybody was just wearing something weird. Like Storm wears this like hat. I feel like guys just wearing fishing boats. And then you know everyone was just kind of wearing something real. Z and Kyle were going after
I
it. I felt like they were going to a Halloween party, but no one decided to like coordinate outfits.
Z is like one of those like kind of like a wealthier guy in like his late 40s, early 50s at like a cocktail party.
Yeah.
They look like a Robert Graham shirt.
Yep.
Like
There's sick, like why do they even make buttons towards the top?
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
this is like this is my nice shirt that I wear going out.
Yep. No, I love that.
But yeah, I mostly remembered Dave and like the hat last week. He doesn't pull it off
No.
because he's whatever the opposite of BD is, like SDE. I don't know. It's
Doesn't sound good.
it. Natasha's killed all of that guy's confidence, and
Yeah.
he's a shell of himself.
Yeah. So Sean, they go to the club. Interesting. It was I thought everyone was gonna have a good time there. Turns out it's like a weird group. Like I remember Reagan really crushed it last time they went out, but like Dave's feeling like super insecure, basically just following around Natasha. Kyle's having a good time. Storm, Natalia, but like Jason's just chilling. Like the guy says he even said he's like, I have no game. And it showed, you know?
He's the worst. I don't know. I got nothing for Jason.
Yeah.
I have no time
He
for him.
he's a guy who's just like, I don't get him. You know, I don't think we will. I don't get what he's about. Like, if you want to paint your toenails and have a man bun, that's great. But as far as like the personality, I don't get him. I don't hate him at all. But I feel like we've already talked about him too much.
Yeah, he's trying to do like the surly like Jay Cutler thing, like with this personality, and he just
Yeah.
doesn't pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's enough of Jason. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So we're in the club, and Sean, I think something we saw a little precursor to, Natalia and Storm start kind of having a good time, getting after it. Are you looking forward to this? What seems like a fun relationship?
Oh yeah, Natalia is great. That she can dance too. Like I gave Regan a lot of credit like 2 weeks ago for her
Yeah.
dancing, but Natalia can bust a move as well. And I love her and Storm. I loved all things Storm tonight. I loved
Yeah.
he has a conversation with Z about like whether or not he's ready to be a bosun. And like Z is like the nicest kid in the world, is like, hey, it's not all about you. Like we're your team. We're gonna support you. I don't know. Everything with Storm I'm a huge fan of. So they're dancing. Do they make out at the club or not to the cab ride home?
Cab ride home.
Cab ride home. You're right. Yeah.
It's a real classy move by Storm there.
Mm.
But no, obviously, yeah. So Storm has a great episode here. Z's having a good time. They're all having a good time. So I love that. Let's circle back a little bit to Natasha and Dave at this club. So Dave is just completely following Natasha, not really allowing her to like have any fun. Dave's definitely not having fun. And I can see the frustration from Natasha when she's like, dude, like, we're out. Can we just have a good time? And he's like, no, we need to talk about this now. And it's like, do we? Like, can't we just like have drinks, have a good time? Like, but Dave is just so in his head, he just can't let this go.
Look, in his defense, this is the only time I'll defend him tonight. She does kind of just like drop him pretty quick. Like he thought they were together, right?
Yeah.
Or they were quasi together. Just that she didn't want to go public with it yet.
Yep.
And when he follows her to that bathroom, which by the way, man, that's the saddest move in the world.
Yeah, don't do that.
But when he follows her to the bathroom and she's just like, we're not in a relationship, like that's hard to hear. But also, man, like you gotta take a hint, and like that's kind of, you gotta stop right there. Like that's painful to hear. I get it, but you gotta stop bothering her after that. I don't know. I'm not like trying to really defend him, but it happened
I
quick.
listen, man, you look at Twitter, I feel like everybody's all over the board. So you've got like, obviously we'll get into like the text messages he sent, which, unexcusable. But then you've also got kind of like, did Natasha lead him on and just drop it like it's hot? And
She did, yeah.
yeah. And so like you're playing games with a guy, like, listen, every chef seems to be off their rocker in one way or another. And so like this guy, Dave, he's definitely got some demons. And I don't know if it's like abandonment issues or what, but like Natasha has hit something here and he's not having a good time.
And like even before that, so like where's an outfit he can't pull off personally?
Yeah.
Ordering Heinekens at a bar, like that's just such a weird. John, when's the last time you ordered a Heineken?
I think I watched like Entourage like during like right before the pandemic. And like I think I ordered Heineken at a bar because they were drinking it.
Yeah, it's just like a very like mid 2000s
Yeah.
beer. Like yes, when I was in college, I thought Heineken was the classiest beer possible.
Yep.
But it's 2022, and like Dave was like an Olympic skier. I don't like, why is he ordering Heinekens?
Yep.
He's also like just being the biggest sad sack in the club. And then after once Natasha leaves, Uber is home by herself. We haven't seen that like much in Below Deck recently. Like usually, like they all go home together.
Cabs. Yeah, the cabs. Now,
She
Sean,
gets out of there.
let me ask you, what was the thought? Now, honestly, there's not a lot of things that drive me crazy in this world, but I do think Natasha should have like, and maybe she did text somebody else to say she's leaving, but like Natasha goes from like going to the bathroom to coming out and then just leaving. And like you already know Dave is like on edge. Like I think it would have been appropriate to be like, Dave, I've left. Like I'm okay, but I left. You know what I mean? Like I just think like you guys are in a country that you're probably not that familiar with. Like Dave's, I know Dave sent a lot of texts and we'll get into those, but like I think like making sure she's okay isn't like a terrible move, but it also makes him come off as like obsessive because this seems to be his MO.
Yeah. She's a tough one to figure out. I mean, she's not into him anymore, right? I think
Yeah.
like if they get together, then I don't know. That's gonna be pretty annoying. But like, yeah, she just drops him. Yeah, like she doesn't. Does she like tell Kyle or anyone else or Natalia?
I don't, yeah, that's what we don't see. So we don't know. She just leaves, which like, there's like a little bit of panic there, but you know what? Regardless of how that happened, like it was really evident to me that you were watching like two phases of different relationships. Like you had like Tosh and Dave hooking up while she had a boyfriend and like things were fun. And now all of a sudden they're rooming together, which was Tosh's idea. And now they're suffocating, right? And so like, it's just not a good look. But then you also have like Storm and Natalia in like the fun part of the relationship.
Yeah.
So you see one in like the honeymoon phase and then one that is just completely crumbling. The dichotomy was evident.
Natasha's like Don Draper and Mad Men. She only likes relationships when they're new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when they're new and exciting. Yeah. One last thing before they like go back to the boat. So after Natasha leaves, Dave is just sitting in the corner with Kyle while everyone else is having fun.
Yeah.
That was not the ideal night out. I don't.
No, I don't know what Kyle. I mean, wait, not Kyle.
Not Kyle. Sorry, Jason.
Jason. Yeah. I mean,
no, Kyle's having a blast all night. Yeah.
I think those guys are like bar guys. Like, I feel like if Dave had his choice, he would just drink something like a coal miner drinks. Like I just don't think he's like a club guy. So these guys just aren't club guys, so they're a little bit out of their element. But